Hi, I'm Damini Celebry, founder of the Soulscape journaling process, author of Painting the Landscape of Your Soul. The Soulscape process uses spiritual and creative tools that speak the sacred language of our heart and soul. I think my earliest memory of me is painting. I think I was super young and I was painting Snoopy with oil paints, no doubt. My mother, my grandmother, my great-grandfather were all realist painters, those beautiful paintings that look like things. And then there came me, who painted what I was feeling, not necessarily what I was seeing. And so I always felt slightly out of place. In my 30s, I moved from the creative arts over to the healing arts and studied energy healing, Reiki, and acupuncture, then finally shamanism. About 15 years ago, I started teaching art. And at first it was Zen brushwork, but it was really about getting in touch with your feelings. And then when I found the expressive arts, then I was facilitating workshops where, again, I was inviting people to get in touch with themselves. So the 5-element acupuncture is absolutely about walking your path, and the embodied creative arts are absolutely about coming inside and being you fully. What drew me to the intuitive painting process? Well, I could say spirit made me do it. I was in New Mexico at Ghost Ranch, and I happened to run into a patient of mine that was in Pennsylvania. And she said, "Oh my God, I'm here painting something that came up during one of the treatments. Come and see my painting." And so in this flurry, we go over to a room, and there are these massive wild paintings all over the walls. And I looked at this painting, and then she left and I left, and I didn't think anything much about it, but it was really neat to see her. And then at some point during that week, I did a shamanic journey, and Spirit told me to paint from the heart. And I'm like, yay, I got permission from God to do what I always wanted to do. And I was telling somebody that at lunch, and I bend down and I pick up somebody's name tag, and it says painting from the wild heart. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a sign. I found Chris Zeidel's website, and I called her up and I said, "Hi, you don't know me. Spirit told me to paint from the heart, so I'm here to do your teacher's training." And Chris laughed and said, "Do you have any idea what I do?" And I said, "None." And she goes, "Well, perhaps you should come out and see what I do before you sign up for the teacher's training." And I did, and I had this really funny moment where everybody started painting, and I'm sitting there, and I said to Chris, I said, "Well, what's the intention? What do we do? Blah, blah." And Chris said to me, "Well, just paint what's in your heart." And I said, "That's it?" And she said, "Yes, Damini, you just traveled 3,000 miles to hear that." I've always been doing intuitive painting. I just never had a word for it because I was on the East Coast. And what it's done for me now is it actually has given me the power and the language to speak about what I do. And so whether I'm creating fine art or I'm creating from the heart, it's the same language. And so I do apply all the same kind of concepts from the intuitive painting process into my artistic practice and actually into life. So I've been officially offering classes, workshops, retreats for about 10 years. What was remarkable as I started really watching people go through the healing process of putting paint onto paper, it was the same movement of the energy fields. And that's why, as a healer, this process is really exciting for me, because it is combining intuitive creation and healing all at the same time. And so I really love holding space for people to discover their heart and their truth. Two things that are probably the hardest for me as a facilitator. And one of them is about articulating how putting paint to paper is healing. Because most people think they hear paint and their natural reaction is, "Oh my God, it's paint. I can't draw, I can't hold a pen, blah, blah, I can't. The other issue that comes up a lot with people that are new is the fact that they paint in silence. People are so used to being super chatty when they're scared and when they're nervous. My workshops and retreats are all about coming back to your body wisdom. And so what I like to phrase my work as embodied creativity. A typical workshop or retreat uses the sacred and creative tools that speak the language of our soul. Guided visualization, automatic writing, shamanic journeying, intuitive painting, embodied movement. So all those components are in a workshop or a retreat. I work a lot with ceremony and intention as well. And so I like to come together in a circle, hold space with a particular intention, and let that intention kind of drop like a penny into a deep well. So the person's heart has an arrow, a beginning place to start their inquiry into their heart and soul. And then from there we do movement or guided visualization or a shamanic journey, depending on what day and how long the program is. My advice for anybody who is considering the path of expressive arts or intuitive arts is to first check out all the teachers out there that are doing trainings. Because everybody's going to have a different way in. What drew me to Chris Seidel's Wild Heart Painting teacher's training was really the name tag first. But Chris holds a powerful circle. She is really well-versed in holding space for you and allowing you to kind of speak what's in your heart. Some of my offerings. Online, I have a downloadable class called Looking Within, Painting as a Spiritual Practice, which is a 7-day at-home retreat where there's videos and music and meditations to kind of allow you to be in retreat at home. And then in July in Pennsylvania, I have a 4-day soul immersion retreat. And then in November at Ghost Ranch, I have a 5-day embodied creativity vision quest. And I'm delighted to say in January of 2020, I will be offering a 5-day retreat at Krippala in Massachusetts called Soulscape, embodying creativity to deepen a relationship with your soul. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you around someday.